Hey, what's up guys? It's TJ here, and I'm about to play the Stanley Parable. This game is a trippy mess for your mind, and my cat just decides to start playing with her squeaker toy. Let's get in it. The narrator is kind of a jerk. I'm probably going to be conversating with him a lot less than I'm going to be conversating with you guys, like I usually do in my videos. We're just going to make some bad decisions, which is what this game is all about. And I'm not going to do exactly what he tells me to do, probably until my last episode that I decide to do. Leia, stop it! I will revoke your squeaker toy privileges. Leia! Trying to distract you. Where are you? This is a long load. Leia, stop playing with your squeaker. Hey, babe. Are you playing with her squeaker? Can you take it away from her when you get a chance and be the bad mom again?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
That's so clever.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Aww.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so we are in the game. And first thing the guy tells me to do is to step out of my office. So I'm just not going to step out of my office, and I want to see what he does. So the narrator is the jerk of this game. He tells you what to do. He defines basically your character. And I don't like being defined, man. I'm a rebel. I want to see what happens when I don't step out of my office.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision?
I know. What if a
crucial
pops up?
outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait.
Yep.
Nothing will hurt me.
Exactly.
Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever.
Because I got my lamp.
I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed. Then
Hasn't been
days.
hours.
Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the
I have
one
a
thing
clock.
he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
Yep.
Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here
You can't
it
tell me what to do.
comes.
What? What? Did it just start over? I think it did. Okay, so basically it doesn't want you to stay in the office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What about
no
this
matter how
telephone?
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
What about that door? What? My girlfriend wants to watch this game, I think, guys. Should I let her sit by me? Oh, you can see from... Oh, never mind. She can watch from the other monitor. But she can't hear. Which is like all this game is about, is the narrating. I want to go in there. Huh. Okay. Oh, what's that say? Awaiting input. Ooh. What? What's that? What's that thing? Input received. What's this one? Oh, I turned it off. Okay. There's a cup. I hate Mondays. That's clever.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I have a decision, guys. What happens if I go through... I can't jump, so... Crouch jumping. What if I just run into the wall? Can't go backwards. Let's not listen.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh yeah. Gotta love the employee lounge. Can I want to go through there. Nope.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Such a beautiful, beautiful room. I like this leaf and this ocean.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
So the trick is...
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
First open door on my left, you say? What if I do not take the first open door on my left, and in fact say... Oh, let's do it. Let's try.
So he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Well, I could, or I wonder if I can make it go down. No. What's in here? I could take that lift. What if I go backwards? I can't? Okay. So far I'm indirectly kind of listening to the guy, which is ridiculous. Oh,
yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda. Reflect. What's that? Standardized graphs. Not cost efficient. Hire someone to synergize papers. Synergize papers. They crossed it out. That's funny. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergized guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on topic of... Let's see. What's all these say? Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please, no more charts. I'm begging you, stop. Boss appreciation minute. Boss reach work should cycle on 20 things loved about your boss. Fill out the triplicate and return to your boss. Okay, we're going this way, guys.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay. What if I go back in? Nothing? Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I'm not. I'm going downstairs. I don't believe in upstairs is... Ooh, what if I hide underneath the steps? No.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that.
Yeah,
and
I'm
in
not
such a
gonna get
competitive
fired.
economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
And I'm
then
definitely
something
not
occurred to
crazy.
Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh my god.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Do they?
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Hey.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Hey.
And at last, he came to the conclusion
Get me
that
out
it
of
was
here.
on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Oh, well that makes
he
sense.
yelled. This is all a dream.
I didn't hear myself
What a
yell that.
relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
I'm gonna go really
So,
fast.
he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
I'm a rocket ship.
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One
What?
he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
That's a good point.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Trippy.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself?
I can outrun
Believing
this
that
insanity.
if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago?
I know.
How else would the voice explain all that?
Come on.
This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
Do
that
it.
this
Do it,
was
Stanley.
a dream.
Let's do it.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Wake
He
up.
felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Yeah.
Let me go back to my job.
I want to
Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice?
Why is everything turning red?
And everything went black.
What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I like the morals of this game, to be honest with you. Because it does have morals, if you guys haven't noticed. Okay. Well, we're in my office, but that doesn't look like the outside of my office. Not the last time.